All right, so welcome to the stage. I've kind of led into the fact that even as long, 2 years ago, a lot of carriers were talking about quad play. I guess you're going to touch a bit on that. Why don't we kick it off, though, with giving a quick introduction to yourself, the company, and some opening thoughts you've got, maybe.
Sure. Well, thanks for having us here, TC3.
Give it a minute, they'll flip the slides over to your deck.
Sure. So just to give you a few numbers about Bouygues Telecom, it's a French carrier. We do both mobile and broadband. We have 11.3 million customers on mobile and 2.5 on broadband. Today we want to talk about an innovation we've made. We started this project 2 years ago. It's named Miami, and it's a set-top box. You'll find that the French market is very difficult nowadays. We have a 3P offer that's 20 euros per month, and the premium is only 26 euros per month. So the market is very, very difficult, very competitive market. Well, 2 years ago, we started this Miami project. We're going to talk with Xavier about this project. And we're glad to see that Apple find that the apps is the future of TV, because you'll see that the Miami project is based on this principle. So what is the Miami project? Well, it's a project where we build a set-top box. It's the kind of set-top box you will find with all the functionality you find in a set-top box: live television, VOD, catch-up TV. But the fact that what is special about this set-top box is, first, you get an app store with it. So it's an Android set-top box with an app store. And secondly, we could do our own UI. And what is interesting is that we've been working with IFeelSmart on this UI, a startup based in France. And we've done a great job to be able to provide very quickly this product to the market. It has been launched early this year, and we had a great traction on this product. Just to let you know, Bouygues Telecom is #1 in net growth user base for the 6 past quarters, and that's one of the reasons why we've been successful.
That's overall user growth for mobile subscriptions, or specific to TV and home connections?
It's TV.
Okay, good.
So for a carrier like us, it's interesting to move to an Android set-top box because it reduces the time to market and the costs. It's easy to bring a new service to the market with an Android set-top box. It takes weeks where you used to be spending months and money also. And the Android set-top box itself is 40% of the price of the usual set-top box. So you really save money on that side. The second part is that, as I told you, it was useful to grow our user base. And also, what we see interesting is that the premium, because it's the premium set-top box at Bouygues Telecom, we sell twice more premium offers with this set-top box, which is good for the ARPU.
So that's the premium content, not the premium box, right?
Well, it's a premium box in terms of, because you'll get all the content and all the evolution will be on this box, because it's so much easier to provide new services on an Android set-top box. So I'll let Xavier explain how they did on the UI, and we got a great feedback from our customers on the UI.
Thank you, Frederic. Donc, let me introduce IFeelSmart. IFeelSmart is a startup company based in Paris and have a different customer in Europe and also soon on the North American market. What we are is we design a software solution and provide a user experience across multi-screen, donc on the TV, but also on mobile phones and tablets, to be sure that we offer for quad play services a complete experience. And we design our product to be sure that we have a flow-based solution. We want to be sure that consumers will have the same experience that they have right now on tablet, as iPad, or Android tablets, or on their phones, have exactly the same smoothness experience on the TV. And our solution is completely consistent, as a really playful experience for consumers. We want to be sure that people will like to play with their remote control and to discover easily more and more content. With internet and OTT services coming, you will have millions of videos available, but you have to find an easy way to browse in a very simple way your electronic program guide, but also your VOD catalog and all content with, including for applications. And what is interesting with the Bouygues box, the Miami box, is the fact that Bouygues Telecom has merged two worlds, the managed service provider world with the OTT services. There are a lot of OTT retail box coming on the market, but as a service provider, you could leverage all these services integrated in a consistent experience, and this is what Bouygues has done, and we designed this product to be sure that it completely integrates both of the best world, service provider services, but also integrated application. And application, as Frederic explained, it's a real opportunity to provide innovation in a very fast way. A new application is coming. In a few hours, it's available on your TV screens, where previously integrated a new application and music services or as a Netflix services, it takes months, and Frederic has experience at Bouygues, where an integration of Netflix before takes months, where on the Miami box, it takes 1 day. And they could just focus on the business deals and have a great experience and leverage in the fastest way. Let me show you a video to explain what our solution is doing, and explained by our designer, Dale Stadt, which is an American citizen, very famous, 4 Emmy Awards, and this is a guy also who designed the special effect for Minority movie from Steven Spielberg.
All right. Go to video, please.
This interface was designed, first of all, as a result of many years of designing interfaces for television and for unusual devices, I'll say. I think that the real innovation in this Miami box can be covered in 2 ideas. One of them is that the audience can now interact in a very dynamic, smooth way that they're used to on smartphones, but that's on your TV now. I mean, this interface has a robustness, it has technology that's magically inside the box. It has an interface that works with that and considers this flow of animation. So that's a really big idea, and it's one that I care a lot about personally. I call it rich media. It really does work, and it's very powerful. The second thing is the audience in television today, in the living room, is asked to address all kinds of content. What this interface does is it takes all of that, and rather than looking at it in individual manner, it all behaves the same way. This box, this Miami box, really is great. I love it.
So what I learned from that is you have Dancing with the Stars in France as well. Have you had Gerard Depardieu on yet?
No.
No? Oh, he would tear it up.
This solution on IFeelSmart has been completely designed for the new ecosystem on television. And we think Android is a unique opportunity to move fast. In one way, you have Apple coming with the Apple TV, completely a retail OTT box. And the only solution alternatives that your service provider has today is the Android TV ecosystem. And we design, and we are working with Google for the last 3 to 4 years to design our product to be sure that it completely respects the guideline from Google, and our product with Bouygues Telecom has been certified by Google, and it completely respects all the guidelines, but it provides a great TV experience for service provider and leveraging the Android ecosystem.
Well, what we want to do with this set-top box and why we want to share this experience with you is that we want to develop this ecosystem. So if you have an app and you want to move these apps to the Android TV, then we'll be glad to help you. If you want to imagine new services with accessories, also we'll be glad to have you on our labs. We have a lab here in Cupertino that you can see the set-top box, and we'll be glad to work with you. So you have our contacts. Feel free to get linked to either Xavier from IFeelSmart or myself.
Yeah. Great. You know, and I think what I want to call out there is this is great because we're going to have a variety of different kinds of presentations from carriers, and you're kind of saying, I'm telling you one area of focus. And that gives the developers, like, if anybody's developing any kind of TV app, then we know who they're going to call first at this point, right? And you've clearly identified that. And it's also neat that you give an early opportunity in this rich market in France for people who are thought about maybe doing it. Well, here's a real live platform with real customers. How quickly could they get an app? And I know the development could be a day, right? But how quickly can they get an app actually out to your customers? Is something your customers could download?
Well, the set-top box is linked to the Google Play Store.
Yep.
So when your app is on the Google
full Play Store?
Yes, the
Yes,
full
the
Play
full
Store.
Play Store.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea was to give our customers the access to the full Play Store. Usually an app is made for tablet will be very easy to move to the TV.
Yeah.
You'll need to do some short modification on the UI because you don't act the same way when you have a tactile tablet and a TV remote control. But it's very easy to move from one to the other.
Wow. So, I mean, essentially, the time to market, you offer no gateway, no blockage whatsoever.
Exactly.
If they can get in the Play Store, your subscribers can access that in France.
That's very important for our customers. We want to bring them all the services as fast as we can.
Yeah.
That's what we offer. We offer the live television, our services, and access to a store.
Your delay is 0 seconds, which is pretty
is.
impressive. So but in that, so that's brilliant, 0-second delay in the developer's ability to get to market. But then that doesn't talk about how you promote and you can market with them and stuff like that. So what are the promotion, if I'm a startup and you go, that is interesting, we would like to be partner or part of that, how can Bouygues or IFeelSmart help?
Yeah, donc on IFeelSmart side, we provide to Bouygues Telecom a small platform to help them to promote applications they would like.
Yep.
And we have different levels. It could be generic applications where they would decide to have specific deals, and then we offer them tools where they could highlight this new application at a specific place in the UI. But we also provide the tools for a TV broadcaster, TV channel, to highlight close to their TV stream application linked to the TV channel. If you are Channel 1 could decide, if Bouygues Telecom agree, to highlight their core application. When you zap to Channel 2, they will also have the capability to be sure to highlight the application from Channel 2. Donc it's an easy way for a TV channel to transform their TV audience in new revenue stream on the OTT world by selling applications, games, or giving space for the advertiser. Donc we provide a complete ecosystem to develop also interactions on this main screen on the TV, but also on the companion app on mobile phone and tablets.
So when you talk about this promotion tool, much like an Android phone you buy from a carrier, there would be some bundled-in applications that you can't remove, they're in the ROM, that are part of the launch and the kind of a default UI or a skin, is that right?
Yeah, but more than that, because here it's a fixed model. Yeah. We provide a dynamic, and including, for example, for TV broadcasters, they could decide to promote some content for a specific show. When there is a soccer match on Friday night, they could decide to highlight some specific application for sport, or if they have some partnership with advertiser, they could also give them space to promote that.
So BWin, for example, could say, listen, here's a match, people might be gambling on this. BWin could sponsor that through Bouygues, without necessarily being an advertiser through FIFA, or the league, sponsor through Bouygues and be kind of in a corner or some kind of a associated content. That's pretty neat. So this is opening us up for some advertising and commerce revenues and things like that. So that's kind of a neat advertising subject. What about commerce? What about seeing a fashion show and saying, I want to buy that dress or that suit? This also in the cards?
Yeah, in our multi-screen experience, we have a unique, including IP patents about the contextual experience between the TV screen and the companion app. Okay, every time on your mobile phone on tablet linked to the TV experience, we know exactly on which show you are, and in this case, the service provider, Bouygues Telecom in this case, could decide which services they would like to highlight. So they could make deals with an e-commerce website to make e-commerce on the TV. Yeah. Okay, it's a very interesting model. So,
Frederic, you guys, you partner with IFeelSmart for the user interface, right? Do you design the box at Bouygues and have a vendor or a fab make it for you? And if so, how powerful, so you got this box that is now easily upgradable. Next version of Android, bang, it goes into the box. Exactly. But then you got to spec out the hardware and kind of try to future-proof hardware. Of course, you put in a phenomenal processor and you future-proof it, your cost goes up. And these scales poorly because it goes to every customer. So what are the choices you make on hardware?
Well, we want to make this box able to play games on Android. So we've been working with Marvel chipset to be able to have a powerful Marvel chipset inside. Yep. And you can play games, and we sell game pads. That's the kind of stuff you can sell when you have those type of Android set-top box. So now we sell game pads so people can play, I don't know, whatever game you want to play, driving a car, whatsoever, and it's very fluent on this type of set-top box.
So that's interesting to me because you have this upsell accessory opportunity, but you told me earlier that the cost of the box is relatively low, right?
Yeah, it's 40% of the usual cost we had on the set-top box.
So the customer cost of the box is 0?
Well, in fact, in France, the provider will give you the box for free, and you will get a plan with the box, and you pay for the plan, and it pays for the box. That's why when you're an ISP in France, you need to have a very low cost on the box, because you're the one who provides the box.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the cheap cost of the box is due to the fact that you are using standard technology, which is ARM-based technology,
so
which is the same as the mobile phone and tablets. Exactly. And you leverage completely the ecosystem.
That's the magic of having, right?
It's very similar. Donc you benefit from all the volumes you have on mobile phones.
Instead of spending 3 years in a lab and investing a few million euros into it, you can just grab what's already there. And you were telling me earlier as well that if a carrier sees a threat from over the top, both as a IPTV carrier or as a mobile carrier, one of the best ways to compete is take the wind out of their sails. So offer a similarly low, free device, where over the top doesn't offer free devices, like Roku, and these devices cost between 50 and 100. So offer a free device, and then offer the full range of content choices, and then the pull, the market attraction of that Roku or Apple box is greatly diminished, right?
Yeah, live television is big in France. People still watch, I think it's 3
hours and 40 minutes.
40 minutes so per day. Yeah. So people still watch television in French a lot. So that's why we want to have this set-top box starting on live television. The first time you start it, you need to put some credential, but after, you'll get live television running each time you start it. And that's very important for the French market, because in that way you can address all the population. The youngest who want to play and be able to have apps and do a lot of things on top of this set-top box, and the oldest who maybe just want to have live television and will probably discover the new services, but later in the process.
Right. So available more cheaply than a Roku, for example. Not to poke at them, they're pretty good, but available more cheaply than that. Full range of App Store, Google Play App Store apps. Live content as well, because Netflix, for example, in the US doesn't offer a lot of live content. So live content as well as streaming content. Mm-hmm. So basically hitting checking all the boxes, so there's not a lot of reason for somebody to start looking for alternatives. Here in the US, I think the cable companies are too late realizing, they tried to ignore the threat, and the threat has now grown. Everybody's aware of streaming options, and the consumers are starting to defect and go to those. In France, is it a similar situation where people had already started going to all kinds of set-top boxes, over-the-top solutions, and you're trying to now win them back? Or is it a situation where you never lost them at first?
No, the situation is different in France, because as I told you, the set-top box is free when you get a plan with internet. So you will rather go to an ISP and buy a plan and get a free set-top box rather than buying from Roku or someone else. Yeah. So in France, the market is ISP set-top box. So when you're a new service and you want to provide service in France, you need to go to the ISP to make a deal. So that's the way we also can make deals and provide some services.
So one thing that's also very different is the competition is any operator will tell you the competition is tough everywhere, but it's truly cutthroat in France, right? And you guys are probably one of the aggressive carriers as well, but you have Iliad free, even more aggressive on price and such. So you showed us the pricing earlier, but what was it, 30 euros for a quad play or something like that?
Triple play.
Triple play for 30 euros. So what is included in a 30 euro triple play in terms of channels and the 3 bases?
Well, you have 200 channels?
No, for 20 euros per month, you have more than 100 TV channels. Yeah. You have unlimited voice call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fixed telephone. Yeah.
For fixed telephone, plus internet at 20 megabits.
Right. So that's what I get for $20.
And including the box, including the set-top box in the same price.
Yeah. So that's ridiculously cheap. So you guys are able to find a way to offer cheap, low-cost solutions as well this way, and you still get a profit. Or are you seeing the opportunity of this upsell, like these gaming controllers and some content and some advertising revenues? Is that the way to make money in that cutthroat world?
Make money and also loyalty from consumer. Yep. When they have bought accessories, content from you, they will stay.
Right. So despite the fact that the margins on the base service are low, you're going to provide that base service, lock them in by competing very well, and then I think we heard yesterday the concept of instead of trying to create revenue, create value, and then find revenue later. That seems like essentially one of the things you guys are trying to do. Exactly. Great value, loyalty, and get the customer, and then create revenue on top, which to me sounds remarkably similar to the business model that carriers have been angry, a company down the road in Mountain View, get users, deliver value, and extract revenue afterwards from advertising and other sorts of revenue. It seems like this strategy is almost like a Google approach to the market, like create that value and then through advertising and upsells and other opportunities, find the path of revenue. So it seems pretty interesting way that Bouygues has found to compete with over the top is kind of like to look like and to be an over the top yourselves in a lot of ways, as well as a network operator. But very good. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen, before we go on to the next panel?
I think I have my 2 slides to do.
Let's go to them.
Okay, perfect.
So if we can go to the 2 slides from Bouygues, and also while they're calling us up, so you represent a group called Winnovation here in Silicon Valley. You're not going to differentiate that in your 2 slides, right? So explain to me how Winnovation is related. Actually, Bouygues, I'll just say first, then you can talk about Winnovation. Bouygues is a multi-industry conglomerate, family-owned in France, and they have a big television cable subsidy, and they turn that into mobile. And now you have represented Bouygues in the past, but now have shifted the local office to Winnovation. So tell me a bit about that.
Well, Winnovation is a subsidiary of Bouygues Telecom, which is the telco company of a group. So Bouygues is a construction company, road construction, buildings. It's also a media company with TF1 and other channels in France. TF1 is the #1 channel in France. Yep. It's a telco with Bouygues Telecom. And we have an innovation office based in Silicon Valley. Yep. I'm taking care of this office here. The name is Winnovation. We're in Cupertino. So if you have a lot of projects with all these domains, because we have many domains in the group, yep, I'll be pleased to talk to you and then find a way to work together. We've been successful with IFeelSmart, and I think it's a good way to work. Working with startups is a good way to get innovation into the group and go fast.
Great, so let's close with your 2 slides.
Yeah, sure. So the first one, you got it already. I mean, making apps and accessories for the TV world, that's something very huge. We want to build this ecosystem. Second one is IoT over LTE or Sigfox LoRa networks. Third one, IoT for workers, because you see a lot of B2C IoT stuff, and we think B2B is going to be also huge. Fourth one, is carrier managed ID for apps. You have a lot of apps, and they need to get the credentials from their customers, and we think there's room for us and things to do on that side. Indoor precise location for building, and password management and cloud security are also something we are looking at very closely. So feel free to come to us. We did the same thing at the same time. So you got my contacts, and I'm working with Sebastian Vicker, maybe you know him, and you will have his contacts also. We're in the Valley. Get linked to us.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek.
Xavier and Frederic, thank you.
And just one thing, maybe. I'll be leaving at 10:30, so if you want to meet me.
Good point. Grab you before 10:30. Sure. Xavier, you sticking around through the day?
Until 12.
And we didn't, and you'll be able to show people this box as well for the next little bit.
Okay, we'll have a box, so if you want to see the box.
Very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Have a good day. Goodbye.